bombardment commences against the farmhouse and they're in cover, so I'm going to have to reduce any casualties by half. We have 6 firing at the farmhouse and they all miss, and 1 firing at the guys in there, and that's a hit, so I'll round that down as 1 hit on the guys in the orchard. Fight in the centre. So we have 2 against the Scots Greys and they're both hit, so that's 2 more Scots Greys off. Two against the Highlanders, both miss. 2, 3 more from the centre group against the Highlanders, and that's 1 hit. 1 hit. So the Highlanders have lost 6 now so far, and another 1, 2, 3 more against the Highlanders. And that's 2 misses and 1 hit. So another Highlander goes. The 75th, 2 hits. So 1 goes. We've now lost 3. 1, 2 against the Lynches from the Imperial Guard, and they both miss. 2, 3 more from the French infantry, that's 2 hits. 2 more casualties here. So the Englishes have now lost 7. And the Imperial Guard can now have 1, 2, 3. And that's 2, because they only need 5. 3. Oh dear. And they're down to 75%. So they're going to have 1 more hit from the cuirassiers, and that is also another hit, so they are going to have to leave the field. If they fail, they get a 3. But they are down to 75%, so they, I'm afraid, have to go. And we get 1 more hit against those, and that's another Hussar has gone here. But they're still in it. So, quite a few losses there, but still holding on. So, British move. Three from the artillery on the Imperial Guard, and they all miss, which is a pity. And nothing We get 2 hits on the dragoons, or sorry, the lancers, from the guys in the orchard, and they both miss. Scots Greys are elite again, they get 1 hit. Where's my lancer? Here we are. So they've now lost 3 lancers. Two hits on the Uhlans, and that's 1 Uhlan gone. Two hits on, that's another 1 gone from here. The 95th, they only get 1 hit, and that's a miss. 1, 2, 3 on the Imperial Guard, and that's 1, 2. These guys are taking casualties. Well, they've taken 4. So they've lost 1/3 of their strength. These guys get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1, 2, 3. Now, what's left of the Hussars? I think they're going to get rid of the cuirassiers now. They get 2, and they get rid of 1, and the cuirassiers are down now to 75%, so they leave the field. Which is a lucky break for the Hussars. French move. 6 against the farmhouse, 6 artillery shots, and they get 1 hit, so we'll take 1 man off. And they have 1 shot at the guys in the orchard, and that's a miss. So now for the dragoons. Sorry, lancers. 2, and they're both misses. Uhlans, 1 hit. Against the Highlanders again, all miss, and 3 against the Highlanders on the other attack, and that's 1, 2 casualties. Dragoons against the 95th. That's 1 more casualty. Imperial Guard could be their last throw. As they, well no, actually they've only lost a third. And they're elite, so they get 2 more casualties off the Lincolnshires. Who've now lost 9. And the final assault at the end. They get 3, they've got 1 casualty off, 1 more casualty for the Lincolnshires. So that was the action that I didn't focus on while I was doing that, but I'll just have a look what we've got left here. So the British line is shortening amongst the Highlanders and the Lincolnshires, but they're still holding on, holding their own, fighting blow by blow, punch for punch. The Imperial Guard, because they're in the middle of nowhere and the Hussars have just chased off the cuirassiers, the Imperial Guard have gone into square to defend against the inevitable assault from the Hussars. So now it's the British turn. Let's see what happens with that. Done with some riflemen in there, but I don't have any because they would have been able to have a pot shot at these guys coming up here, who sooner or later are going to move. The orchard again could have done with some riflemen, but there aren't any in there. They're just firing into the flank of the Lancers. In fact, it might be an idea for some of them to hop over the hedge and have a go at them, because basically they're doing nothing, but there are still a lot of British infantry in the centre here waiting for the Highlanders and Lincolnshires to either retreat or break. And another gun can come into action, which is quite handy because the Imperial Guard have gone into square, so they can have a nice little target of that. So let's get on with this. Okay, over on the small farmhouse side, 4 artillery pieces can now come into action against the guys in the square. Now, as they're in square, that would do more damage, so I'm going to say a 5 or a 6 takes a casualty there, and we get 1. The Hussars have a go. And as they're defending in square, then the usual score is a 6 or higher on a d10 to get a casualty, so I'm going to say 7 or higher. And they both fail. So that's one advantage of being in a square. Now then, musketry. Across the centre, one company has leapt over the hedge. They're not yet within musket range of the Lancers, but they will be next turn. So they've moved, but they're not yet within firing range. So that means we take the two guys, 2 units on the corner, and they both miss. The Scots Greys are elite, so they need a 5 or more, and they've got 2, so they get 1 more Lancer casualty. We've now lost 4. The Uhlans against the Highlanders. The Highlanders have now got 2 hits, and they get 2 hits, so 2 more Uhlans go. So they've now lost 5, leaving them with 7. Three on the Esky French. That's 2 hits. Oh, that was very narrow, another one that just rolled the other way, so that's 2 more losses inflicted by those hard-fighting devils in skirts on the French. We've now lost 6 from that unit. Scott's number's been whittled down now, but 2 more there, and they do get 2 more hits. But they've only lost 4 amongst the airfix contingent, so they're doing okay. They're still in good shape. Okay, the 95th. Again, we strengthen the line. So they get 2 on the Dragoons, and that's 2 more off. So they have lost 5 and have 12 left. The remnants of, well, the 2/3 strength of the Imperial Guard get 2, 3 hits on them, and that's 1. We lose 1 more. We've now lost 5. And that's 3 more on the final column. That's 1 more hit, 2 more hits. And I did the cavalry assault, so that's fine. So that was the British response. Now for the French. Tiring of this, the French have attacked the gate. We've got the artillery firing in support, 1 artillery unit on the end firing at the guys who've come out of the orchard, and right away along the line everything else going on, and the French in the square will be able to take some shots at the hussars who are milling around them. So let's see what happens with the artillery. Six. That's 1. 1. So another casualty in the farmhouse. And they get 1 shot on the guys outside, and that's a miss. Okay, so let's move into the centre where the action is. Lancers on Scots Greys. 1 hit. Uhlans on Highlanders. 1 hit. Hit on the Highlanders from the Esky troops, and that's another casualty for the Highlanders, who are starting to, they've lost 2 whole companies now of 12 men, and 2 more on the centre there, and that's another 2 hits. On there, nothing, and nothing. That was lucky. They have lost men across the line. Dragoons on the 95th, 1 more hit. Imperial Guard, they only get 1 dice now because they've only got 7 men, but it's a hit. Three casualties. So they lost 4 there. Within range here of the Imperial Guard. Let's have a look. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots on the Hussars, which is pretty grim. And their elites were 5 counts, so that's 1, 5. So 2 more Hussar casualties. So casualties mounting up across the back there. And now it's the British turn. Of the linkages, there's now 6 guns can bear on the Imperial Guard square. So we have 6 dice. Oh, and 3 wonderful hits. A 5 would have done as well, but it was a 4, so we've got 3 more casualties to take off here. And let's do the melee this end. We've got 2, and they need 7s because they're in square, and that's another one. Okay, walking along the line. 1, 2, 3. Oops, wrong ones. No, it's the right one. 1, 1. And 2 on the, and that's 1 more hit on the Imperial Guard. So they are now down to 50% strength. We get 1 hit on the Dragoons, and it is a hit as well. Now, over here, the Brunswickers can see the French now, so we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots on the French. That's 1 hit, 2 hits, 2 hits, so 2 more casualties there. We've still only lost 6 though. Then the Scots on the Uhlans, 2. And that's both misses. And 3 more on the Husky French. That's 2 hits, 3 hits. Scots Greys on the Lancers. Let's just move the action over to here. So Scots Greys on the Lancers, we get 2 attempts. And that's 2 hits. And they're now down to 6, which is 50% of their strength. Now, 1, 2, 3 in the flank, so I will make that a 5 or more. That's 2 already, both 8s and 3, so an enfilade has hit those, so they lose 3. down to 3, 2, 4, 6, 8. They've lost 9, and they're down to 3. So that, in my reckoning, without firing from here, although they can have a go as well. 2 more hits from there. Both missed, but they are down to 75%, so they also have to quit the field. So, disaster for the French so far. They've lost 2 cavalry units, have quit the field, including their cuirassiers, which was a bit of a blow. The centre still is holding firm, the dragoons are still there, and the Imperial Guard are fighting a action against the Hussars. So it is still touch and go, but it's looking better for the British forces. Okay, so now the French move. 6 artillery pieces, and everyone is a miss. Now we have the French are at the gate, so we've got 1, 2, 3, and the British are in cover, so that should mean they need a 7 or higher to get a casualty. Well, there's a 10 and a 3, so that's 1 casualty from the Gloucesters. And let's go to the centre conflict. Bearing in mind the Lancers have now left the field, that leaves the Scots Greys to be able to work some damage now on their turn, supported by these guys, the first foot, against the Uhlans, and roll up this centre. So although the French only sent 1 unit against the farmhouse, all the action has been over here. Just as well the other did only send 1 at the farmhouse, because that's tied up the rocket troops, the North Gloucesters and the King's German Legion in the farmhouse, not doing a lot. So let's get on with the Uhlans, who are left against the Highlanders, and they get 2, and that's another loss for the Highlanders. We've lost 2.5 companies now. So far, the French in the centre get 3, that's 2 more Highlanders gone, 2 more Highlanders gone. And 3 more attacks here on the Highlanders. 2 misses and 1 hit, so another Highlander has gone. So they've now lost 3 whole companies, they're down to 50%. Dragoons on the 95th. 2 more hits. That's the 95th gone because they're under 75%, so they quit the field. One attack from the Imperial Guard gets another one off the Lincolnshires. And 3 from the final French regiment here. 2 misses, 3 misses. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against the Hussars from the Imperial Guard fighting manfully in their square. That's 1, 2, 3. So, looking at the casualties now, shifted the farmhouse. Lots of British casualties there, and lots of French casualties there. In fact, I think the French have lost a lot more now. Take into account these units here. Losing 2 from the field didn't help, and the British have only lost what amounted to a company and a half of the 95th. But the Highlanders are taking a beating now. So let's move on with the British turn. So panning it around. The farmhouse sideshow still going on. The first foot coming out of there. Scotsgreaves have got a clear run. Big gap there developed in the British lines though, but the Brunswickers are there to plug that gap. So the British line is still unbroken. Artillery coming into play at the far end, and the Hussars are probably going to be removed by the Imperial Guard this turn, so still a lot hinging on this side of the field. So let's make a British move. Just go up there. So now the first foot have leapt out of the orchard and will be joined by the Scotsgreaves very shortly, who will be taking the Uhlans in the rear. Scotsgreaves, the Scotsmen holding firm in the centre there. Some fire can come from these guys here into the Uhlans. The Brunswickers have got a clear shot at the Dragoons and the centre French column. The Hussars are probably going to get wiped out this turn. More and more guns coming into play on the Imperial Guard square, and the Lincolnshires are still holding out on their end. So let's start with the farmhouse. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice, and that's 2, 4, 4 hits. These guys in here are out of range, so they're basically doing nothing in there. They could probably come out through the farmhouse into the orchard next turn. So that was what, 4, wasn't it? So 3 and 4. And those guns are artillery are in a very dangerous position. Now 1, 2, 3. Let's move to the centre again, where all the action is. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. That's 2 already. 3 dead Ulans. They are not in good shape. In fact, that volley alone if they lose one more, that's 75%, and they probably will. We can have 2 shots from here finally coming into action, and that's another one gone. Oh dear, it's not looking good for the Ulans. 1, 2 from behind us. Will they get the coup de grace? Oh yes, 2 more hits. That is the end of the Ulans as a fighting force. They are off, and it's all going to be rolled up in the centre here. 1, 2 more hits from the Highlanders on this column. Both miss, fortunately for the French. But we have 1, 2, 3 from the Brunswickers who are going to attack this lot. 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4 on the Dragoons. That's 1, 2. And now the cat wants to go out, just as it's getting changed its mind. Okay, so that was on the Dragoons. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 on the Imperial Guard. They could be gone. That's 2 already. That's 3. And that's them gone because they've lost all of they've lost 75% as well, so they skedaddle. 4, so that is 1, 2. And that's 2 hits. Can't remember if I did the artillery. I think I didn't. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the Imperial Guard. Square, so a 5 counts as well, so that's 3 more casualties amongst the Imperial Guard. However, and the Hussars get to go in with 3. 1, 2, a 9 and an 8, so bigger than a 7, so that's 2 more casualties for the guard. Square is thinning down, but they're still there. Okay, now can the French snatch victory? But somehow I can't see it. So, the French cannon fire. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 4, 5 can hit these guys in the rear. And they get 2 hits. And that leaves 2 to hit the farmhouse, and that's a miss. Okay. Four hits on the defenders. It's 1. It's 1. Too little too late over there, I think. Now, moving into the centre. Three attempts on the Highlanders. That's 2, 3. Highlanders almost down to 75% now. 3 on the Brunswickers taking their first hit. That's 2, 3. 3 on the more of the Brunswickers from the Dragoons who've joined them. That's another 2. 2. 5 casualties for the Brunswickers in the first round. 3 more hits from these guys on the end. Nothing. Nothing. And 5 at the Hussars from the Imperial Guard in the square. That's 1. 3. 3. That means that only leaves 3 Dragoons left, which means the Hussars, have now left the field. Leaving the French Imperial Guard to join the melee, if they can get there quick enough. So, time for the British turn. Will this be the final turn? Back to the farmhouse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 1, 2, 3 casualties.